What's going on, Yankee fans? Good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time zone you are in. I am Bill Corpus Crispy Murphy, joined by my fellow Yankee fan and vice president of the network, Danny Aboy Reginald, and welcome to another exciting edition of Bombers Banter. Reggie, how you doing, buddy?
I am pumped. Lot of news coming down, despite the fact that baseball's in an all-star break. We'll get to all that Friday on SIP.
Yes, we will.
So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, we are talking about the Yankees first half, which had a lot of high hopes, which died.
Yeah, April and May, they were doing very well.
Yeah.
They were doing very well in April and May, and then like right after, starting in June, they just shat the bed.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the way I would describe it is this. For those people that thought, well, the Yankees were going to miss the hell out of Soto um, during the season, well, in the first half, it didn't seem that way. It seemed like the Yankees were very much A-okay hitting wise. And then surprisingly, we had good pitching too. We had good pitching from the bullpen. We got great start out of Rodon. Obviously, Max Fried was a stud ace, like stud, which is great. So we were thinking, hey, look, not necessarily the best rotation in baseball, but on top of Fried and Rodon doing well, you had some of the young guns doing the best they can and you know giving a lot of good effort. And then of course the hitting was just tremendous. So we kept thinking, okay, this is going to look good. 5 games in front of everyone else in the American League East. We're chasing the Tigers for the best record in baseball. Bill
And
Murphy,
then
they crashed.
they just crashed. And like, listen, we were like thinking, the first in the first 2 months of the season, we're all like, first of all, with Juan Soto, we're like, Juan who?
Yeah.
And then, with Garrett Cole out for the year with pitching, we're like, Garrett who? No, no, Garrett Cole. We miss you, pal. We
No, we
really
we
do.
we, we could use Garrett Cole.
But now the only people who are producing are Judge.
Yeah.
Bellinger has been doing pretty good.
Yeah, Bellinger, out of all the hitters, he actually got off to the slowest start and picked it up in May. So that was good to see.
And and Chisholm, who when he's hot, he's hot.
Yeah, the
I
thing
don't
with
think he belonged
Chisholm.
in the home run derby last night, but
Yeah, I don't know what that was a disaster. But in any case, Chisholm's interesting because Chisholm is a great hitter and has provided a major spark since we got him in the near the trade deadline last year. Unbelievable acquisition by Brian Cashman. It's actually, again, Brian Cashman, I don't know how he finds these players and everything. And look, this does not excuse him for the crap shoot that he keeps giving us every year.
oh, we'll get into that, won't we?
Yeah, but look, Brian Cashman, for every 10 terrible things that he does for the organization, there's always that one good find. Jazz Chisholm was a good find. It was a good acquisition. And we knew he was a great player in Miami, but he has really provided a major spark for this Yankee team. But he's hurt. He gets hurt easily. And there are times where, you know, we wonder whether, just like Giancarlo, whether or not he's going to be, you know, a part of the lineup in a big stretch. And um, thankfully, so far, he hasn't been off the field too much. He was injured for a period of time, but thankfully he has been able to stay fairly healthy this season, Bill.
Yeah, he has Jazz has been.
Yeah.
And yeah, but those really are the only three that been producing Judge,
Yeah.
Bellinger, and Chisholm. Right
Yeah.
now, the Yankees are hitting as collectively do. They're hitting 256.
Yeah. And it's combined with Paul Goldschmidt, who got off to a really great start.
And then he just crashed.
And he is been slow lately. It's been him that has been underperforming. Ben Rice, who got off to a good start, he hasn't been tearing it up of late. Uh,
Volpe.
Volpe is a major concern.
Oh my God. You know
Let's
what?
let's
I'm
be
gonna say
real.
what I said last year. Dude, next Derek Jeter my ass.
Yeah, let's be real about Volpe. Maybe, and look, I don't know if he ever has a great season, it's definitely not going to be with the Yankees. I think as long as he's with the Yankees, he'll be a good average player.
I agree.
His his talent really hasn't translated well into the majors. Not as much as we expected. And I'm sad about this. Is actually one of the things I'm actually sad about because I was we were talking about this when he was called up about the hype and the excitement. We've been talking about Volpe for a very long time. You know, that he would bring that same energy and be an explosive player. And he just never, at this point, hasn't gone to that to
No, like
that.
I remember everyone and their mothers read, he's gonna be the next Derek Jeter. Shut up.
It was a mistake saying all that. Um,
And I like the guy. I like the guy,
yeah,
but I'm sorry, the guy's just been. Let me reiterate that. Next Derek Jeter, my ass. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like,
I
screw him. Like, seriously.
I think that Volpe, and look, I'm not going to be quick to get rid of him yet because even though he's not as great of a defensive shortstop as we thought he was, he's also not hitting the ball as well as we thought he would at this point of his career. He is a shortstop and he's been playing every day. So, you know, just I would be cautious about wanting to move Volpe. Just food for thought.
I can agree.
Yeah. But he has been a massive disappointment. And all the Yankee young guns, he's the one that's been very disappointing. Um, on top of Volpe, you have Jason Dominguez. He's actually played very well. I expected him to be a little bit better, but he has done a great job in that lineup, so I'm not worried about him. And look, you can excuse his outfield play. I don't care about his outfield play. If he gets a good bat, he gets a good bat, you know. Um, but yeah,
Uh,
man.
so yeah, like we said, the Yankees started off good,
Right.
April and May, and then June they shit the bed. Now I want to ask, what should the Yankees do at the trade deadline?
I'm still thinking about third base.
Take third base.
Obviously, they're going to be buyers out there because they're still within the playoff mix. So I'm thinking third base for sure. Um, what's your thoughts about getting Jose Ramirez
Jose Ramirez from.
from the Guardians, Cleveland?
I think that would be a. I actually don't think that would be a terrible idea. But who you gonna give to? Who you gonna give for him?
Look, it's an affordable contract. It's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. You'll probably have to give up what? Some prospects, maybe attach maybe attach a player.
I think Ramirez would be good so far. He
Well,
is.
well, here's the thing, because here's the thing that I just love about Jose Ramirez. First things first, he's a switch hitter. Secondly, he hits well. He could give you a home run whenever or even a big time hit. He can produce runs, and he plays third. Now, and he has been a third baseman his career. So, you know, rather than going with another player that has been a utility guy or forcing Jazz Chisholm to play third base when he's not a natural third baseman. Here you're bringing in a natural third baseman. Is he a great third baseman? I don't know if I would say that. I think he's pretty good defensively. But you're getting the third base as well as the hitting. So, look, I would at least inquire because I don't know how Cleveland feels about getting rid of because he's actually one of the biggest spots, the biggest bright spots on that team. So I would inquire about it, see where Cleveland is at. Look, the Guardians can pop up at any time, but let's be real. That Central Division is dominated by the Tigers right now.
Yeah,
And
the Tigers are running away with that division,
yeah,
I
and
think.
the American League East is in control of those wild cards. So inquire about Jose Ramirez. See what they want if they're willing to, and try to make a deal. Because at the end of the day, Yankees need a third baseman.
I got an idea of who the Yankees could look at.
Okay, who do you think?
Eugenio Suarez, I'm hearing from Arizona.
Okay, Suarez. Gino's good. Gino is not a terrible player. He obviously hits for power, and he could also drive in runs. It's not a terrible idea. I think it's also a very affordable contract. Um, he just got to Arizona though. That's the part that's sad because that Diamondbacks team should be much better than they are. Fortunately, the pitching let them down with the injuries. So, but the thing is, do the Diamondbacks want to sell? I mean, I don't know. Are they trying to offload? I mean, for a team that was trying to compete this year, that may
I don't
be
think Gino's coming to the Bronx.
that may be a bit hard. It's not, again, just like Jose Ramirez, it's not it's not a terrible idea to at least inquire about it. J- just knowing that Ramirez is experienced in the playoffs and has played well, I really think you should go after him.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Now, let's let's t talk now. Suarez possibly. Now, listen, I think there's one thing the Yankees really need this trade deadline.
Yeah.
Pitchin', pitchin', pitchin'.
Tell me about Billy Boy.
I just did because Cole had Tommy John. He's out for the year. Schmidt's getting Tommy John. He's probably going to be out until middle of next year. Now, I think who the Yankees should look at is okay. One was talk that also Yarbrough was also injured as well.
Yeah.
So who are the Yankees are also looking. Two names that I'm hearing are Zach Elfin from Baltimore, but I don't think that's going to happen. He hasn't really been having that great of a year, and also he's currently on the injured list, so I don't think he's coming here.
Right.
But I'm also hearing Seth Lugo from the Royals.
Okay. Seth Lugo's not bad. He's a gamer. I love watching him play with the Mets as when he was a reliever back in the day. He's now a starter and can go deep into games when he feels like it.
He has a 2.67 ERA in 17 starts. I think he's going to be. I think if the Yankees were to get him,
Mhm.
but they might have to shell out a little bit, if you know what I mean.
I mean, yeah. Again, the Yankees, if they're buying, they have to, you're going to give up prospects. You're going to give up a lot. Um,
So
I mean, yeah.
I would say during to the trade deadline, I would say look for a third baseman, like you said, Reg,
Mhm.
and I would say look for another starting pitcher or two.
Right. And then if I'm being real with you, some people saying we probably need two starting pitchers. I disagree. I would take the chances on the kids. Why not?
I would say just get one starting pitcher.
Like,
I would say between Lugo or Eflin, I would say get Lugo right
yeah.
now.
Yeah, because at this point, and hopefully Max Fried's finger's okay. You
Yeah,
know,
that's another factor.
'cause all of a sudden, right? He has blisters on his fingers that might be more of issues than we think. Um, you have Max Fried, you have Carlos Rodon, both who Rodon who has done very well. I know he's up and down, inconsistent, okay, whatever, but he still pitches well when you know, and then Max Fried has been great all season. If you add an Eflin or a Seth Lugo, then that's three right there. So then the other two starting spots, you can give it to a Stroman. Stroman's not going to be your pass this year. So whatever, cool. It's another starting pitcher with experience, right? And then, we saw this kid, Schlittler, the other night against the Mariners, right? Why not continue to give him some reps up in the majors? Even if he sucks, you know. And then, look, if you want to even go six man, just to give more rest for Freed and Rodon. Heck, Will Warren. Will Warren hasn't been. Look, we can't expect these guys at such a young age to be great out the gate. Look, you can only have one Paul Skeens, right? But, stretch them out a bit, get them more uh, MLB time. And I think that would be good for the Yanks. Just one starting pitcher, one third baseman.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. But now, you know what? Like, here's something I've been, and now here's like something I've been wanting to ask. Well, and we've talked about this on SIP. We beat this horse to death. Like, right now, okay, Yankees are what, two, 3 games back in AL East going into the second half of the season?
Yeah.
What is it going to take for this team to wake up? And you have said, Reggie, I think these are your words. The Yankees need a losing season to humble themselves.
Now, of course, when I say that, obviously, I would be very pissed if the Yankees were to have a losing season.
Oh, I would be too.
Um, Billy Boy, though, let's be honest, though, the Yankees are a winning franchise. They have always been a winning franchise, with the exception of the 1960s, but even in the 60s, winning franchise, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So, of course, as a Yankee fan, I don't want to have a losing record, but if it takes a losing record to get fresh voices into the teams, whether it's for the front office and in the clubhouse, yeah, I want that too, because I want to continue our winning ways. I want to have sustained winning without having the mediocreness, if that's a word. I don't know if it is, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
I'm
But
sick and tired of it. Go ahead.
But you know what? Here's the thing, though, Reggie. Here's the thing, Reg. What is it like? What is it going to take for this team to wake up? Like, if they have that losing season,
Yeah.
which again, I hope they don't, you hope they don't, is it going to take that for Hal Steinbrenner to wake the hell up and say, well, you know what? I think it's time to get rid of Boone and Cashman.
Yeah.
And like, listen, I think we need, you said this too, dude. I think we need to start having the fire Boone, fire Cashman conversation like now. We need to start having that conversation now. I don't want to be waiting till the end of the season and then the headlines is Boone getting fired, is Cashman getting fired. No, we need to have this conversation right now. And like, listen, last year, listen, we all agree, Boone is a terrible manager. Aaron Boone is not a good manager. And let me tell you something. If and we brought up the 2023 season, and Reg, that is something I totally agree with you. The 2023 season, Boone should have been gone. Boone should have been Dunzo. Boone should have been
It's running its course, Bill.
Boone
Like,
should have been gone.
uh, look, last year we were very happy with Boone, right? We're happy with him last year because of the fact that they went to the World Series. But then they got to the World Series, and what happened? Who messed up?
Boone.
Boone.
Because look, you want to go okay. 2018 they lose the LDS, his first full season. Okay, first it's his first season. I'm not expecting a ring.
Yeah,
2019, you get to the LCS. Okay, you really have no room to stand on.
yeah.
2020, I'm not really going to count.
Though we were punked again by the Rays in
Yeah,
2020.
we were punked, but I'm not really going to, that was COVID season, not really going to count it. 2021, you lose the one game playoff to the Red Sox.
Punked by the Red Sox.
Punked again. And 2022 and like 2021, you had a leg to stand on. You
Mhm.
had a leg to stand on in 2021 to fire him. Then 2022, you make it to the LCS. You get swept, but you took him to the LCS, so you really have no leg to stand on. Then 2023, you missed the playoffs altogether, bro.
Yeah,
That should have been after the past 3 years,
yeah,
losing a one game playoff to the Red Sox, getting swept in the LCS by the Astros,
yeah.
and then missing the playoffs in 2023, that should have been it.
Think about it for a second. In 19, they made it to the LCS. Better than what they did in 18, right? You're thinking that they're growing in 19, right?
Yeah, but they're
They don't
regressing.
grow. They don't grow, right?
They're regressing.
COVID year, they lose in the division series. Um, and then of course you have 21, one and out, one and done, excuse me. Um, and then 22, you get back to the championship, lose. You get swept. You get your doors blown out. Not even close. 23, you miss it. And then of course you make the leap again, you gamble and you get to the World Series. But then they don't win the World Series. And you know what? That's on part of it was the poor defense built by a team, nerds in the front office, Cashman listening to those damn idiots, and they had a poorly defensive team, right?
Well, we'll get to Cashman in a second.
So then it's that, and then of course Boone with this just horrible over managing. It's awful. It's ridiculous. Yeah, we're talking about how it's going to run its course, right?
Yeah,
Well, it's happening now. If it hasn't happened already.
it hasn't.
So, I don't know what to I don't know what else to say. Like
I
it's
don't know what else to say either, Reggie boy.
we've been talking about this for too long. Like at some point, like when do we look at this team and be like, this is probably the best we're gonna do with
and
this
like,
regime.
listen, people would argue that after the Yankees lost the World Series and people who were probably calling for Boone's head and like, listen, I'm one of the people who realized I'm sorry. As much as I'm critical of Aaron Boone and Brian Cashman, no, don't worry, we're getting the Cashman in a second.
Yeah.
But as much as I wanted Boone and Cashman's head on the platter, I also realized you took them to the World Series. Hal Steinbrenner really has no leg to stand on. But this case, I'm sorry. If the Yankees lose, like if the Yankees if the Yankees either miss the playoffs or they get bounced in the first round, then sorry. Bye Aaron, bye Brian. And like Boone should have been gone after 2021.
A long time ago.
Boone should have been gone 4 years ago. And like I said, 2018, I'm willing to give him a pass. It was his first season. You're growing. 2019, made it to the LCS. Give him a pass. 2020, yeah, we got bounced in the first round, but to be fair, that season really shouldn't have happened. And 2021, you lose a one-game playoff to the Red Sox. Your ass should have been on the first ticket out of here. Like, you should have been. He shouldn't have been able to go on the bus coming home from Boston after that. He shouldn't have been allowed to be on the bus from Boston after that. Like, I don't understand. And then Cashman, the immortal GM. Okay, you know what? Since when does winning 4 World Series, which again, I said this on SIP, Reg, that's nothing to scoff at.
Yeah.
But since when does winning 4 World Series grant you immortality?
And that's the thing that we have to be honest with ourselves too. As much as we appreciate Cashman's service to the Yankee organization. And look, we love the winning, right? We all love the winning. He's been there 27 years as GM, longer as a member of the Yankee front office. You know, you're talking scouts, talking, all that stuff that he used to do, right? How that you're willing to give him a 9 year leash for one World Series. You're going on 17 years for another one. That is too
Again,
long of a leash for somebody.
I gotta go through this again, don't I, Reg?
17 years, Bill.
Dude, I gotta go through
They're
this
not winning
again.
the World Series this year. So that's too long of a leash to get another world title.
You know what it is? Okay, here's the thing, Reggie. From 2000 to two, and like, here's the thing. Like, here's the thing. 2000, you win the World Series. Well, 2001, you lose. 2001, you lose to the Diamondbacks. 2002, you get bounced in the first round. 2003, you lose the World Series to the Marlins. 2004, I'm not even discussing. We all know what happened.
Mhm.
2005, 6, 7, you all get bounced in the first round. 2008, you miss the playoffs. And then, okay, 2009, you win a World Series. Congrats. And then,
Out of all those years, Bill, sorry to cut you off for a second. '06 was the most disappointing year because '06, look at that lineup up and down. And they got bounced by the Tigers, the surprise Detroit Tigers. Of course, they made the World Series that year, but whatever. Go ahead. Sorry, I just want to make that point.
okay, and then you go into the second stint from 2010 to 2024. 2010, you get bounced in the LCS. 2011, you get bounced in the first round. 2012, you get bounced in the LCS. 2013, you don't even make the playoffs. 2014, you don't make the playoffs. 2015, you get bounced in the one game playoff. 2016, you don't make the playoffs. 2017, You're back in. Okay, that one I could be a little more forgiving. It was kind of the first time in a while, and they made it to the LCS, but you lose to the Astros. 2018, you lose in the LDS to the Sox. 2019, you lose in the LCS to the Astros again. 2020, you lose in the first round. 2021, you get bounced in a one-game playoff against the Red Sox. 2022, you get bounced in the LCS against the Astros. 23, you miss the playoffs. 24, you make the World Series, but you lose to the Dodgers. What screamed, let's keep this guy forever? Like in the past 15 years, like, listen, you're there for 27 years and four World Series. Again, that's nothing to sneeze at. But, dude, when you don't win a World, when you don't, forget about winning a World Series, when you don't make a World Series in 15 years and you don't win a World Series in 16 years.
Yeah.
Like, on what, and he's still there. Reg, on what planet does this make sense on? I'll tell you, it doesn't.
It's I'm using my words carefully. There needs to be a true evaluation here because Bill and I, and look, again, the season's not over yet. So we don't know what's going to happen the rest of this year, right? And there needs to be an evaluation from now to the whenever the Yankees end the season. Hopefully, we're hoping for a World Series championship, right? We don't know if we're going to get that, but we're hoping, right? We need to have an evaluation period.
Totally agree.
But I just don't trust ownership
I don't either.
to really make that decision because they have so much trust in this regime. And also, I don't think Hal Steinbrenner cares because he's making the billions. So
Ha- and that's the
tough.
thing. How?
We're in a tough spot. We have to evaluate. We
How? My brother in
cannot.
Christ. How? My brother in Christ. Like, what is it going to take you to wake up?
Yeah.
And, like, listen, I think he wants to hold on to Cashman because Cashman gave his dad those four World Series titles. So I think Hal Steinbrenner doesn't want to let go. But you know what? I'm sorry. How? And like, listen, if you're thinking, oh, we're being too harsh. No, listen, we've told you from the day we started this podcast, we're not the Yes Network. We're not going to sit here and tell you and say nice things that Hal Steinbrenner wants to hear. No, we're here to tell you the truth. Whether it's good or bad, we're here to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Like, what is it going to take for Hal Steinbrenner to say, you know what? I think it's time for a new GM. And just because it worked one time doesn't mean it's going to work again. And I've been saying this. End of the year, I think what Hal's got to do, he's got to call Cashman in his office. Now, Cashman, you can be nice to. The guy gave you four World Series, so you got to be nice to him.
Yeah.
Like, Cashman, you get up, you shake his hand. Thank you for your to our organization, but it's time to get it. It's time for a new direction. It's time for some change. I'm sorry, we're going to have to let you go.
But he doesn't have the guts to do it.
Boone, he could just shoot right out of a cannon for all I care.
He doesn't have the guts to do it. So as long as you have Hal running the show, until like at this point, like you can basically say that Brian Cashman, I think may have mentioned this last year too, that he can go out on his own terms whenever he feels like it, right?
Yeah, but there comes a
But we don't.
time.
But here's the thing: we don't want that. We want him gone now.
Again, since when does you win four World Series, but then you have a span for the first time it was 9 years, for the second time it was 15 years.
Yeah.
Since when does that grant you immortality? When does that grant you, hey, you're here forever? You're here forever. Since when does that grant you that you're here forever?
Yeah, tough one. Um,
It doesn't.
so we'll keep tabs on what happens throughout the rest of the year. We're obviously going to be watching on Cashman. We're going to be watching Boone. We hope the Yankees can turn it around. They did end off the first half. It wasn't a great stretch, but they did win games, so that was good to see. They salvaged the series against the Mets. They swept the Mariners, and they did lose 2 out of 3 to Cubs, but at least it wasn't the disaster that was before the Mets series. So, you know,
Agreed. So, okay, do we just want to do rest of July? Do you want to jump into August too?
we can do both if you want.
All right, that's cool with me. All right, so we're on the All-Star break right now. All-Star game is going on right
Yeah,
now.
we're done through an inning, so that was good to see. He's probably done. I would get him out now. I would not only would I get him out, but I would send him on a flight back to New York because well they're in Atlanta, so just send him to the hotel and let
Yeah,
him.
because then guess what? Come Friday,
Yeah,
they have a they start the second half with a three-game set in Atlanta.
yeah. So yeah, they're in Atlanta. So then don't send him to New York. Keep him here. Send him to the hotel. Let him chill out for a couple of days. He needs to leave the stadium right now. That's basically what I'm saying. Um, but in any case, all right, Yankee schedule, rest of July. It's not that many days left, but um we do have the Braves for 3. Braves are not that good. They are terrible.
I
Um,
think the Yankees can squeak 2 out of 3 here.
I think so too, but I just hope that the bats wake up here.
Me too.
And then after the Brave series, they're in Toronto um, for 3 more.
I think
Um,
the Jays are going to take 2 out of 3.
yeah, this smells like 2 out of 3. Um, we were wrong the last time they were in Toronto, so
Hopefully, we're wrong again.
yeah, I hope so too. So yeah, I mean, look, I want the Yankees to compete. This is a big series because we have to also see what Toronto does throughout their first series back from All-Star break. Because if that series can determine who takes the lead in the East, that's huge. We also got to watch out for the Red Sox because the Red Sox all of a sudden have won 10 in a row and are right behind the Yankees' tails. Big series in Toronto.
Okay, next. Back in the Bronx, we got a 7-game homestand.
Mhm.
The Phillies.
Yeah, the Phillies are better than the
Yeah,
Yankees.
Phillies are going to win that series.
Easy. 2 out of 3 or sweep. It doesn't matter.
Then 4 games against the Rays.
I think they can split the series.
I think it's either split or Rays are going to somehow take 3 out of 4.
No, I think in the other way. I think it's a split or the Yankees take 3 out of 4.
Okay. And then back for a 6-game road trip, we're going to Miami.
This is easy. Miami Marlins, I don't want to hear this bull crap about how they're playing better. The team sucks. And you're in Miami. Get wins.
So 2 out of 3 or sweep. No, I'm calling
Sweep.
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 Sweep. Okay. And then we go to the Lone Star State.
Yeah, they're in Texas for 3. Um, I hate when they play Texas. This is like 2 out of 3 Rangers.
I would say this is 2 out of 3.
Yeah. So I say the Rangers take 2 out of 3.
Okay. And then back home for a 6-game homestand, first against the Astros.
Astros are surging. I think the Astros win that series.
Unfortunately, I think the Astros too. And then the Twins, and I'm actually going on the 12th.
Well, cool. This is a get right series.
I'm most likely going on the 12th, so that's gonna be fun.
2 out of 3 Yankees here.
Yeah, Yankees gonna take 2 out of 3.
Mm.
And then for a 5 game homestand, three against St. Louis.
The Cardinals are tough. Cardinals are tough sons of guns. I take the Yankees 2 out of 3.
And then two against the Rays.
But it's technically home turf. I'll take the both games. They'll sweep.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Then, oh boy.
This is the big one.
And then coming into town for 4 games for four
Mm,
games is the Red Sox.
I would love nothing more than to sweep those sons of bitches.
Oh, me neither.
Um, this is going to be split.
I think it will be a split as well.
Yeah, I think the Yankees get lucky. They get two. I don't know which two, but I think they do get two, and then Red Sox get two. I also think the Red Sox are going to stay. They're not necessarily going to stay as high as they are now, but I do expect the Red Sox to be contending. So this is a massive series, is basically what I'm saying.
All right. And then three. This is a shout out to our good friend, the Patch Man.
Mm.
The Nationals, three against the Nationals.
The Nationals have some good young players. Nationals will take one. Yankees will take two.
And then we got a 4 game set against the White Sox.
The say no more. If this is not a sweep, this team sucks.
But Reg, they got some divine intervention on their side.
I don't care.
They got some divine intervention on their side.
By the way, did you see that Pope Leo's childhood home was bought by his hometown?
No, I didn't see that.
It's funny. Funny stuff. So
Did
yeah.
you see a couple weeks ago? Pope Leo was at some event and someone gave him a White Sox hat and he just threw it on.
Yeah.
I love this guy. He's just so relatable.
He's so personable, and that's totally an American thing to do.
He's just such a relatable dude.
Yeah, he's kind of cool. I don't know if he'll be as cool as Pope Francis was, but this guy I can dig with, you
I
know?
can dig him for now. We'll see
Yeah,
what happens. But no, he's because you know what? I could see him at the Apostolic Palace when he's
yeah.
and I actually heard he sent Paul Konerko a jersey recently.
Funny. Yeah, he's an interesting guy.
I could see him at the Apostolic Palace when there's like nothing to do, and he's probably has the TV on. He's watching the White Sox.
Yeah. I hope in his first papal visit in America, um, don't choose Wrigley. Choose whatever the hell the White Sox place is called nowadays.
Well, a couple weeks ago when he was about a month ago when they had that thing for him in Chicago, the White Sox actually invited him to come out and throw the first pitch.
Yeah.
I would pay to see that.
Yeah.
But
Look, the White Sox need all the attention and then some. You know?
yeah, they need all the divine intervention they can get.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so that is the schedule look, and now it is time for Stomp the Reg.
Okay, stump the Reg.
Okay, Reg. Aaron Judge has just been voted to his sixth All-Star game,
Which is
tying
insane.
Bill Dickey for sixth place. Who are the five in front of him?
5 in front of him. Not in particular order.
Not in any particular order.
Derek Jeter.
Yes, he's number. Hold on one second. He's number four.
Okay. Thinking of good Yankees. Yogi Berra.
He's number two.
Okay. Mickey Mantle.
He's number one.
Okay, so there's 3. Joe DiMaggio.
He's number three.
Okay. There's 4.
One
Lou
more
Gehrig.
left.
Lou Gehrig. No. Figured. Um, the Babe. No. I figured. I'm just guessing. Don Mattingly. No. Okay. Most recent or old time Yankee?
Like 80s, 90s.
80s, 90s. Let's see. Ricky Henderson. No. Do they have to play their entire careers with the Yankees?
This one did not.
This one did not. Dave Winfield.
Yep.
Okay.
All
That's a
right.
great hint. Great hint.
Here's another. All right. Here's another one. This is a multiple choice, but it has two answers. Are you ready?
Okay.
Which two of these pitchers are the only ones who started an All-Star game representing the Yankees, but also pitched for another team?
Okay.
And your choices are Catfish Hunter,
Summer
David Wells,
Wells.
Randy Johnson,
Eddie Johnson.
and Roger Clemens.
So it's two of them.
Two of them.
Okay. Jim Catfish Hunter, right?
Nope.
Oh, wow. I'm shocked about that.
He
Uh,
started with the A's in an All-Star game, and he never started with the
we never
Yankees.
started. Okay. I'm trying to think. I thought for sure. Clemens? Did Clemens?
Yes,
Okay, Clemens
he's
definitely.
he started in 1986 with the Red Sox, then started in 2001 with the Yankees.
All right, so now who else is left?
You
Um,
got either Randy Johnson or David Wells.
okay. David Wells.
Yep, starting with the Yankees in 1998 and started with the Blue Jays in 2000.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are the questions for today.
Okay. Now, I did promise Bill that I would bring questions for him. Things got busy. Don't get an angry mob at me. Hopefully, for our edition previewing September, whether it's late August or early September, I will have something for Bill. I promise.
I'll be waiting for you, Reggie.
Okay, I gotta make time. I have been the lot's been going on, so um,
I've been waiting. I'm waiting for this. I'm a little disappointed here, Reg. I was thinking,
no,
oh, Reggie's gonna try to stump me tonight.
yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I crammed through 6 books of Yankee trivia to get ready for that. 6.
God.
Nah, I didn't. I'm just kidding.
All right.
All right, so I think that is our show, Reg. Pleasure as always.
Of course. Yeah, let's go Yankees. Um, for more baseball content, we have this show called Batter Up. It airs every Sunday throughout the baseball season. Obviously, days are subject to change when we start football, but for right now, we're on Sunday morning. So um, tune in right around 10 o'clock, maybe 10:15-ish, depending on whether I wake up or not.
At least you're honest, Reggie. I like
Yeah.
that.
Okay. And follow that show. We'll have more baseball content for you. Rifkin and Mark, they'll definitely be there every Sunday. They do an amazing job. Um, subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow our socials. Log on to our website. A lot of stuff there. New vlog coming from Olap's guy. What will it be? Well, subscribe to our channel. You'll
And
be
hit that bell.
yes, and hit that button, that notification bell for sure.
All right, so from all of us, and go to www.sportsinsanitynetwork.com. From all of us here, stay safe and take care and go Yankees.
Oh, Yanks.